What's going on, planet Earth? Hey, what's up, y'all? One more time, it's your Mad Doc G. I'm just chilling here on the weekend. It's been a while. So, I decided to make a video for y'all. And I've been doing a lot of thinking, man. I kind of didn't want to make this video because this one is real personal to me. But, fuck it. I'm going to start off by saying that the way I am now, I haven't always been this way. I've developed the way that I am through trial and error, through learning lessons in life. You know? Like, if you seen how I was when I was 17 years old, 18 years old, my early 20s, you know, when I was, 15, 14 years old, I was so different than how I am right now. Now, the younger version of myself, I was gullible. I was wide-eyed to the world. I'll admit, I was a sucker for women. Like, I didn't know. Little did I know when I was younger how manipulative women can be, especially American women. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna get into the topic of this subject right quick, and this topic is about falling in love. Now, a good number of us have fallen in love with a chick from time to time. We're human beings. It tends to happen. Throughout my lifetime, I have fallen in love with 4 women. Throughout my entire life, throughout 31 years of my life, I have fallen for 4 women. I've dated plenty of women, but I've only fallen in love with just 4. Lord. I'm just going to put it like this. You know, it's a difference between love and lust. When you fall in love with somebody, you fall in love with everything about them. You fall in love with not just their looks, but you fall in love with, like, you like everything about their personality. You know, how they are, how they walk, how they talk, how they act. Everything that they do is spectacular to you, because in your eyes, that person is the shit for the most part. You think that that person is like all of that. And in my lifetime, I felt like that about 4 people. I'm put it like this. I'll go through this with you guys. First time I fell in love with a chick, I'd say I was 21 or 22 years old. Fell in love with this girl named Sharice. Now, this is when I was young. I was stupid. I didn't have the evaluation skills to seek out bullshit in people like I do right now. This was before I had the skill to look through somebody's personal flaws. So I was 21 years old. I fell in love with this girl named Sharice. I mean, this girl, to me, was gorgeous. She was smart. We had great conversation. Oh, and guess what? She had 2 kids out of wedlock by another guy. But here's the thing. Them kids were like 5, 6 years old. So when I met her, she had 2 fucking kids. Go fucking figure, right? And y'all know how I am now. I don't even talk to a woman that has children. I don't even look at a woman that has children. But this was way before I started forming who I am today. So I was 21 years old. I was dating this chick named Sharice. You know, we had conversations and stuff. I met her, man. I met her at Publix, man. Grocery shopping. We exchanged numbers, and we went out for a while, and I dated her for like a year. So now things are starting to get serious. Um, now, then I went to Iraq around that time. So I went to Iraq. While I was deployed to Iraq, a couple of people I knew were still in the United States. So they see this chick walking around everywhere with this other dude while I'm deployed to Iraq. And, she gets caught making out with this other guy, holding hands with this other guy. All of this shit while I'm gone fighting for this country. She's cheating on me while I'm in another country getting shot at. So I come back to the States, and I end up having to dump her. It ended up hurting a lot because I put my guts on the table for this bitch. I put my guts out on the table. I was vulnerable when I was younger. I was vulnerable as hell and didn't know how to shut a bitch down like I do right now. I just was like, oh, I love you, and oh, we should have kids together one day, and blah, blah, blah. I was sounding like a straight up sucker. And she took advantage of how I felt about her. And she went off, fucked with another dude. That dude didn't give a fuck about her. Come find out, karma is a bitch, because this dude ended up beating her ass later on, I found out. So that's crazy. That's the first chick I fell in love with, man. After that, I was hurt for a while. I didn't date a chick for about 2 years. Then I ended up going to Spain. I ended up meeting this fine-ass Spanish bitch named Carmen. I went through a lot of shit with her. Ended up falling in love with her ass. Come to find out, she was married the whole time I was with her. I've been with her 2 years. Toward the end of our relationship, she ends up getting a bill in the mail about health insurance, but yet it has another man's name on it. And I end up finding out that she's married to this other guy through her health insurance. So I end up asking her about it, and she's broke down crying, talking about, but I don't love him. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you love him or not, you're married to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I end up having to dump her ass after I put my guts out on the table for her. I flew this bitch to Paris. I flew this bitch to Portugal, man. You know what I'm saying? I gave her dick all the fucking time. Let this bitch stay up in my crib for free. And in the end, where did it get me? It didn't get me anywhere. I sacrificed my ass off. She didn't sacrifice shit for me. After that, I wasn't in a relationship for a while. For about 4 years, 5 years. Then I met this girl that my homeboy hooked me up with. I dated her for a while. I ended up falling in love with this chick. She ended up having a friend in Las Vegas. A friend. And she ended up hooking up with that dude. I found out through exigent circumstances, and I had to kick her to the curb. So I laid my guts out on the table for the 3rd time for this chick here. And the last time, which is just recently, by the way. And I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years. I met this girl down here in Florida. And me and her clicked on a mental level that I never thought could ever happen. Me and her were clicking like this. And she comes to me 2 weeks ago with tears in her eyes. And she was like, you might need to sit down because I got some real bad news. And she said that she's pregnant by another guy. Apparently she got pregnant by her ex-boyfriend a month before I started dating her. So so after I found that shit out, she got the axe too. I'm at the point in my life where I don't even think it's really worth it, as far as like putting my feelings out on the table and sacrificing for a woman and, giving my all to a woman. And 9 times out of 10, it's the same fucking result. It's the same shit in the end. A girl will play you in a second. They say, oh, I want a man this sensitive to my needs and this, a guy that I can marry and introduce to my parents. But yet, they go off and end up on some bullshit, man. Like the last girl I just dated, who ended up getting pregnant by her ex-boyfriend, who she already broke up with, who she already said that she hated, but yet she ended up getting pregnant by this motherfucker. I'm at the point now where I don't believe in love no more, man. Like, I don't believe in sacrificing for a fucking woman. I'm at the point now where I'm only as faithful as my options. I feel like love is a stupid thing. It's a thing that doesn't really exist. And a lot of times it's not equal. A lot of times it may seem equal, like you may love that person, you think that person may love you, but in the end, it's always one person that's giving up more than the other one. And it's not fair. I hear women all the time in this country complain about how there are no good men left. I hear women in this country all the time complain about how all men are dogs. But I know plenty of men like myself who have started off as good men. I'm talking about innocent, respected women, wanted to give the world to a woman, had an open heart, open mind, and was willing to sacrifice for a woman. I started off that way. A lot of men have started off that way. And then they end up getting fucked over by all these fucking women who say that they want a good man in their lives. These women are the same ones who cheat on guys. These women are the same ones who end up choosing these assholes. And then they got the fucking nerve to complain about why they can't find a good man, when they pass up good men all the fucking time, man. I swear to fucking God, man. It's just like, I'm at the point now, I remember the dream for me used to be getting married and settling down with a woman and getting a house and having kids and all of that shit. The American dream, right? That used to be my dream. That used to be what I wanted. But the more women I dated, the more I found out how vindictive females can be. the more I found out how selfish these females in this country can be, the more I found that shit out, the more I started thinking, why the fuck should I get married now? Why the fuck should I have kids now? Why the fuck should I put my guts out on the table again, only to be disappointed later on? See, this is the side of the story that doesn't get told a lot of times. You hear these women all the time playing the victim. You hear them all the time crying, talking about woe is me and all these men and blah, blah, blah. But yet, when they were younger, they were the ones that were playing these men and putting them in the friend zone and all that shit. And like I said, they end up finding out when their pussy is all old and crusty and shit that, oh, that could have been the man for me. Like that fucking chick I told you about a second ago that I said was married our entire relationship. She keeps trying to call me back all the time because she knew what a good man I was, man. You know? She don't have other dudes taking her to France and shit. She don't have other dudes, you know what I'm saying, buying her shit like that. She don't have other dudes that dig her down on a regular basis. She don't have other dudes that do the shit that I used to do. She thought the grass was greener on the other side, and she ended up finding out that it wasn't. And now, all she run across is broke-ass dudes that don't have her best interests at heart, that don't even come close to loving her. And now, she found out, damn, man, Garcia was a good man. And she ain't the only one that feel that way. You got the bitch that got pregnant not too long ago. She's still calling me. She keeps talking about, damn, I really fucked up and, oh, you know, I just wish we were still together. But see, it's like this, when you cross a certain threshold of disrespect with me, and I've done so much for your ass, once you cross a certain threshold, I don't want shit to do with you. And I know I'm rambling right now, but fuck it, this is my channel. If you don't like the shit, fuck you, turn off the video. But all I'm saying is, love is unreasonable. Love is something that I think is a jaded delusion. And love don't love nobody. That's the best way I see it. All I got to say, man, yo, fellas, keep your options open. Keep your options open. I don't care how much you think you love a woman. I don't care how much you think you got it made with her. Always keep a side chick. Or a chick that's willing to be your side chick. Now, I ain't gonna say always keep a side chick, but keep a chick that's willing to fuck you when the time comes. That's willing to give it up when the time comes. I ain't saying fuck her the whole time while you with your girl, but just let it be known that you got a contingency plan just in case this bitch wants to act the fuck up.